Hey, good morning. I'm getting a little bit of a later start today. Dave and I both intended to get up and get moving fast because we've got about 15 miles we want to do today. Get to another shelter since it's going to be raining. I just couldn't get it together this morning. He went on ahead because he was all ready. So that'll be good. I'll be able to truck it and then hopefully catch him later. But anyway, yeah, I just kept, I'm sure every bag I packed I had to open 3 times because I forgot to put something in. I just didn't have my head about me this morning. And frustrating. Ready to get on the trail though. I wasted like probably a half hour just screwing around trying to find things and sort things and get what I needed. Part of the issue is that it's supposed to rain today. It was already supposed to rain, so we could have stayed in our tents last night and not stayed in a shelter, but there was like almost 100% chance it was going to start raining in the middle of the night, and it didn't. So anyway, today it's still fairly cold. Didn't freeze, which is good, and it's not freezing now. But want to make sure I have all our ducks in a row as far as the cold rain, because it's supposed to start raining at 11 now. So it's cold enough that hypothermia could happen very easily. And so, you know, when you're planning for a day like this, you need to make sure, I guess the biggest key is when you get into camp tonight, or when you stop wherever it is you're going to stop, even if it's halfway through the day in the middle of nowhere just because you're freezing cold, you need to have dry clothes, dry sleeping bag, and a tent that's going to protect you. So even though it's pretty chilly this morning, I'm not wearing my leggings, my long underwear, under these pants here. Just wearing the pants. And so I'm moving fast here to try to stay warm. But I only have the pants and the leggings and some rain pants. So, you know, if worse comes to worse and I end up getting soaked for some reason, my rain pants aren't working or whatever, at least I'll have those dry leggings to get into in a sleeping bag and warm myself up, you know, kind of in an emergency type situation or whatever. Same thing with my top here. I don't have my puffy jacket on, my down jacket, which would be really nice to be wearing, but you know, it's needed to stay dry just in case for tonight. So anyways, trying to organize everything, get everything, make sure it's all in waterproof bags and stuff where it's not gonna get wet. So okay, I'm gonna turn this off and just get out of my head and make some miles. Oh, that's a nice couple 100-foot climb to start out the day. I wanted to show you, I wanted to point out, today's a perfect example of why it's a good idea to put down an arrow for yourself at night showing you what direction you're supposed to be going in the morning, because, you know, like for instance right now, it's so foggy out. You know, I could look off one way or the other and see Lake Ouachita and go, oh yeah, that's been on my left all day, you know. That's been on the south side, so I'm heading west, so now I know which way to go. Or look at the sun and say, well, it's rising, you know, I need to go that direction, or I need to go the opposite direction. But this morning, it's so foggy you can't tell any of that. And it just so happened that the shelter was kind of close to being right on a ridge, so you could see off both sides as well. Otherwise, you might be able to kind of deduce that, you know, oh, I can see off this side, and that's the side where I was looking at the lake yesterday, so go that way. But really it looked the same. So you know, if I didn't just remember things exactly right, you know, it'd be pretty easy to just head out there and take a left instead of a right, and, you know, walk for 2 or 3 miles before I realized that I was going the wrong direction. And I've heard a lot of stories about people doing that. So the day's warming up quite a bit, and as you can see, I lost my hat and I need to take one of these shirts off. This is the way it was supposed to be yesterday. These are perfect temperatures. I mean, it's still cool. If I stopped, I would, you know, probably get slightly chilled if I sat for too long, but it's not freezing by any means. So this is fantastic. Makes me feel a lot better about handling the rain later, you know, not getting wet and hypothermic and all that. So that's good. And I'm a little excited, a lot excited. A little, mile 141, and I have to get to mile 122, just short of that. So about 19 miles to go. So I'm not that excited because this is all coming to an end, but I'm excited because I called into Bluebell this morning and talked to Lori there, Bluebell Cafe in Story, Arkansas, and she said that yes, if we are out at Highway 27 tomorrow at noon, between 11:30 and noon, she will pick us up. She doesn't charge anything. She'll take us into the cafe, which is about 4 miles south of the trailhead, and then we can eat up, have some hamburgers and fries and onion rings and pie and cokes and whatever we want. So that's exciting. And then she also offers a shuttle service herself, and so she will drive us to the eastern terminus, the starting point that Dave and I both started at, unknowingly on the same day but at different times, and she'll take us there. It's from my estimation, it's an hour and 45 at best. She said she'll charge us $90, which is 45 a piece to take us there, and then of course she'll have to drive all the way back, and that seems pretty reasonable to me. So I think $1 a mile is probably about normal, and I don't know if that is if that's $1 a mile. I don't know what the mileage is, but anyway, so I was happy to hear that. So we've got that all squared away. All we have to do is get to camp tonight and then make sure we're out on Highway 27 by noon tomorrow. We better be there because I don't want to miss that food. It'll be really nice to hike with Dave for the second half of today. Have somebody to talk to, hang out tonight, have burgers tomorrow, and all that, as it has been the last few days. But it's been really nice to hike by myself a little this morning as well. It's just different, and it has nothing to do with the person you're hiking with or anything. It's just things are just different. You think of more things. You're able to look at more stuff, when you're not talking all the time, and you're able to hike your own hike. Even if you both hike at relatively the same pace, which often isn't the case, still one of you maybe hikes faster downhill, one faster uphill, maybe one just having a slower moment for 30 minutes while the other one's feeling invigorated and ready to go, and it just kind of messes with your pace a little, and just makes it a little tougher to hike. But I mean, I wouldn't trade the wouldn't say I want to not have anybody to hike with as a result of that, but it's just nice to have the occasional time by yourself. On longer trails like the AT, everybody just kind of, every day they just start off whatever they want to start off, and they don't really worry about a lot of the people that they're hiking with or anything. And because a few hours later you're going to catch up with them, or tonight in camp, or worst case tomorrow or a week from now you'll cross each other's paths, and a lot of people just hike that way and don't worry too much about it, and it works really well, and it kind of makes it fun too, because then you run across each other and how you doing, and haven't seen you for a couple of days, tell me about what'd you think about this peak when you went over it, and that kind of stuff. So, but on a shorter trail like this, you don't really have that luxury. If you leave the other person and don't see them for a couple of days, and the whole hike's over, and you've never got to hang out with them. So anyway, it's been a good morning. I've just been able to just do my pace and not worry about anything and just enjoy the whole environment. So I imagine I'll probably catch up with Dave here in a couple hours, somewhere around Highway 298. I'll talk more about that later, and then we'll hike together the rest of the day.